It was a cold night in Chicago. The streets were almost empty, street lights flickered in the distance, and a thin fog rolled across the sidewalks. In the middle of that silence stood a man, eyes burning with fire, heart heavy with rage. His name was Daniel Carter. Once known as a kind, hard-working, and honest man, Daniel was no longer the same. Tonight, there was only one thing alive inside him: revenge. Daniel grew up in a struggling neighborhood. His father died when he was young, leaving him to support his mother and younger sister. He worked double shifts, studied at night, and dreamed of a better life. Eventually, luck seemed to favor him. He got a job at a manufacturing company, where he believed his hard work would finally pay off. But life had other plans. His boss, Richard Collins, was a man with power, money, and corruption flowing in his veins. Richard could not tolerate Daniel's honesty. While Richard was busy stealing company funds and running shady deals, Daniel refused to go along with him. That refusal became the beginning of his downfall. One day, Richard framed Daniel for embezzlement. A massive financial loss was announced, and all fingers pointed toward Daniel. Overnight, he went from being a respected employee to a criminal in the eyes of society. Police arrested him, neighbors turned against him, and even his friends walked away. Though the court eventually released him for lack of evidence, his reputation was destroyed forever. The pain broke his mother's heart, and she passed away soon after. Daniel still held on, trying to protect his younger sister, Emily. But Richard wasn't done. He spread rumors, dragged Emily's name into lies, and poisoned the community against her. Humiliated and heartbroken, Emily took her own life. That was the night Daniel Carter died. And in his place was born something else, something darker. Daniel disappeared for months. No one knew where he went. In reality, he was preparing. He trained his body, studied psychology, learned about weapons, hacking, surveillance, every skill he could gather. He turned himself into a shadow, a hunter. His one mission: destroy Richard Collins, piece by piece. When Daniel returned, Chicago didn't recognize him. He wasn't the broken man they once pitied. His silence was sharp, his eyes carried storms. One by one, he began dismantling Richard's empire. Richard's closest allies were the first targets. One business partner suddenly went bankrupt when his illegal dealings were exposed online. Another was arrested after evidence mysteriously reached the FBI. A third found his secrets plastered across the news. Panic spread through Richard's circle. But the mastermind behind this chaos remained invisible. Daniel was a ghost. He followed Richard's every move, always one step ahead. Wherever Richard went, he felt those burning eyes watching him. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't breathe without fear. The hunter was closing in. Finally, one stormy night, Richard stayed late at his downtown office. The building was quiet, lightning flashed across the glass windows, and the city roared in the distance. Then he heard it, the sound of footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Coming closer. The office door creaked open. Standing there was the man Richard had tried to erase. Daniel Carter. Richard's face turned pale. His voice trembled as he tried to mask fear with arrogance. You're still alive. I thought I destroyed you. Daniel stepped forward, his voice low but sharp like a blade. No, Richard. You destroyed my family. My mother. My sister. My life. But you left me alive. And that was your biggest mistake. Richard's body shook. He tried reaching for the phone, but Daniel slammed it away. For the first time, the predator was prey. Daniel listed every crime Richard had ever committed: the stolen money, the lies, the people he had crushed. Richard's heart pounded louder with every word. Then Daniel gave him a choice: confess everything. Tell the world who you really are. Or face me here, in the dark, where no one will hear you scream. Richard begged, pleaded, tried to escape, but Daniel had locked every exit. The hunter had cornered his prey. What happened in that room, no one outside ever knew. But by morning, the mighty Richard Collins was finished. His empire collapsed, his crimes were exposed, and the world saw the monster he truly was. As for Daniel, he vanished once again. No one saw him, no one heard from him. Some said he left Chicago forever. Others whispered he was still out there, waiting in the shadows, watching those who prey on the innocent. Because sometimes, revenge isn't about ending one man. It's about sending a message: evil never escapes justice. Thank you, friends.